Welcome to India Career Center audio blog. The topic of this episode is Algorithmic Social Media Driving a Polarized World, written by S.P. Mishra and read by an automated voice. In this information age, we've unlocked unprecedented access to facts and data, yet our shared sense of reality feels more fractured than ever. It's a sobering paradox. More information, less common ground. Drawing from Steven Pinker's insights in his 2025 book, When Everyone Knows That Everyone Knows, Common Knowledge and the Mysteries of Money, Power, and Everyday Life, where he describes common knowledge as the essential glue for societal coordination, like agreeing on traffic rules or democratic norms. This erosion is at the heart of our divides. Social media algorithms, by curating personalized feeds, play a key role in this shift, potentially driving polarization. Here, we'll explore the mechanics, weigh the evidence from recent studies, consider counterarguments, and touch on how this plays out in contexts like India, all while leaving room for your own reflections. The mechanics. From broadcast to bubbles, social media isn't a neutral town square. It's a tailored hall of mirrors. Platforms like Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok rely on algorithms that prioritize engagement, likes, shares, comments, to keep users scrolling and advertisers paying. This often means amplifying content that evokes strong emotions, such as outrage or validation, creating echo chambers where users are fed reinforcing views while counterpoints fade away. In practice, if you engage with certain narratives, the algorithm doubles down, making your feed feel like the definitive truth. This prophetic truth, as some call it, bypasses critical thinking, hitting emotional centers directly. The result? Fragmented realities where common knowledge crumbles. One person's feed paints a picture of crisis, another's of triumph, with little overlap. In India, this dynamic intensifies existing divides, aligning feeds with political, religious, or regional identities. For instance, during elections or communal tensions, algorithms can silo users into groups where blame narratives dominate, reinforcing biases like those seen in COVID-19 discussions, where right-leaning communities isolated themselves from broader perspectives. Weighing the evidence. What studies reveal? Recent research increasingly points to algorithms as amplifiers of polarization, though the picture is nuanced. A 2025 science study, for example, experimented with re-ranking feeds on platforms like X and found that reducing exposure to partisan content lowered effective polarization, the emotional hostility toward opposing views, by measurable amounts, equivalent to years of gradual societal shifts. Similarly, a PNAS paper from the same year linked the rise of smartphones and social media around 2008 to spikes in polarization, driven by denser connections within like-minded networks. In India-specific contexts, studies highlight how personalization fosters extremism. A 2025 ResearchGate analysis showed algorithmic feeds boosting perceived diversity while actually deepening rifts, even in users who think they're seeing balanced views. During crises like the pandemic, echo chambers exacerbated communal blame, with platforms creating locked echoes for radicalization, as noted in a Nature article on youth indoctrination in Delhi. Globally, a Tech Policy Press review of platform architecture provided causal evidence that these systems can tilt societies toward hostility over time. Yet, not all findings agree on the severity. A 2023 Stanford GSB experiment tweaking Facebook feeds during the 2020 US elections found minimal shifts in attitudes, suggesting algorithms might not be as transformative as feared. Algorithm Watcher's review of Meta's internal data echoed this, noting boosts in engagement without significant polarization effects. In India, a Reuters Institute overview tempered the hype, arguing echo chambers are less widespread than assumed, with many users encountering diverse content, though self-selection by partisans still creates silos. A science simulation further suggested that polarization might emerge from social media's inherent structure, even without heavy algorithmic intervention. Counterpoints. Beyond the algorithms. To balance the view, polarization isn't solely a tech creation. It predates social media, rooted in human tribalism, partisan media like cable news, and historical fractures. Some argue algorithms merely reflect these instincts, with one ex-user noting they could even be retrained to surface diverse ideas. In India, Voices on X describe the landscape as a massive echo chamber, from government isolation to sang ecosystems of biased trolls, but others counter that it's overstated, with platforms sometimes exposing users to opposing views that harden stances rather than bridge them. Globally and locally, the interplay is complex. Algorithms scale divides, as seen in India during elections, where misinformation fuels communal unrest, but human choices in following or blocking play a part too. A UCI study on US partisans showed Republicans often perceiving algorithmic bias against them, adding to tensions, a sentiment that echoes in Indian online debates. My pessimism and my personal antidote. All this leads to a rather pessimistic outlook, despondency even, when considering how deeply entrenched these systems are. Not everyone reads widely or critically examines their feeds, and the algorithmic pull toward division feels relentless, eroding the common knowledge we need for a cohesive world. Personally, I try to counter this by building habits that foster balance. Reading widely across subjects to keep perspectives fresh, following podcasts from a range of global voices to hear diverse narratives, consuming a daily dose of newspaper like The Hindu for in-depth, reliable reporting, and tuning into independent YouTube channels known for unbiased objectivity. This approach helps cultivate a more rounded view of the world. I'm not preaching that you must follow suit. Discover your own methods to reclaim agency and rebuild that shared understanding. Whether through books, discussions, or curated sources, the effort starts individually. What rings true for you in this landscape? Thank you for listening to the audio blog.